Well, hello there, Apple Buddies. This is your Apple Bite Written Writ. Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. A show where you and I and you get creative, have fun, and geek out. And we got a geek out and a half today. We are all over the spectrum today here. You know, we got indie comics, we got role-playing games. Dude, this is the show to watch because it's always the show to watch.
There's nothing better than a full spectrum geek out. That's all I gotta say.
The full spectrum geek out is the geek out, man. That's when you got all the good conversations. You know, and you know, I like to tell people all the time. That's why I like doing my show is for the full spectrum. They're always like, you need to concentrate on whatever, Ralph. I'm like, no. No.
Who was saying that? I want to know who voice that was.
If we did that, we'd be talking to ourselves 90% of the time.
Well, you know what it is? It's that they want us to concentrate on one source of geek, whether it's indie comics or it's role-playing games, or they want us to concentrate on one. And I'm like, I have many interests. Why would I concentrate on one?
Right.
I don't know, because they go, you'll do better like that, Ralph. I don't know. Paul, you have just reached your first stretch goal. We're trying to reach the second stretch goal, which is, dude, I have never heard anybody go, we've reached the second stretch goal. I'm going to give you all a free comic.
Dude, man, I told you I'm a capitalist, but I don't know how to make money. So it's just like I give too much stuff away. I mean, you talk about giveaways. I mean, I just love it. I'm trying to build a community of followers. That's really the whole intent. I mean, I just love this program so much. It's near and dear to my heart. It came out of COVID, and I just wanted to make a better learning experience for kids, pretty much anyone that wants to learn about history, and make it so that it's fun to do. And this next iteration, the comic book that we're doing right now, is all part of our education framework that we're developing. Graphic novels are a great way to introduce kids to reading because it's providing both literature as well as visual aspects to the whole experience of what the printed page is all about. And so with this, I mean, the graphic novel, like I said, is part of the framework that we're developing called History All Around Us. And I just love it. I mean, this has been a blast. I'm still working on the last few pages. I keep showing them to my kids, and they said, Dad, this is so funny. So it's like, it's got a bunch of action and adventure. It's got humor. And I'm just having a blast with it. It's a really, really fun project because I'm pretty much taking history and just changing the whole spectrum of what it means to go back in time and not really care what happens to the future. So that's what I love about it. So I'm having a really good time.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really thank you again for working with me to help me get it to my nieces.
Well, I really appreciate your help, man, because I tell you, I mean, I think part of the issue I had was I was including too much stuff, and so I didn't realize that people just want digital materials. And I was giving them like the whole kitchen sink, and that means I have to ship stuff, and people didn't like that. So actually, that whole level that has the digital copy on it is now postage free, so there's no shipping charges at all. So if you even get the sticker pack with the digital copy, I'll just throw the sticker pack in for free in terms of shipping. I mean, it's not a big deal for me to do that. So I just, you know, like I said, I'm passionate about this project. We have a lot of great things that have gone on with it. One of those things being, 5 of those things being variant covers that I've worked with 5 great artists on this project. Worked with Angel the Saint, Son of the Saint Lopez, Keith Williams, Chris Madd, Will Torres, and Angelo on Concepcion III. I mean, they all just put together some really dynamic covers that I just look at all the time. I mean, I can't wait to print my own copies and just like slab them. I think they're great. They're pieces of art, and I just was really fortunate to get these guys on board and contribute to this campaign. And what's great about it is it's truly exclusive to this Kickstarter, meaning you won't see a Virgin variant cover at any conventions or any future campaigns that I do. You can only get the Virgin variant covers off this campaign, period. So if I'm going to have a convention, or if we're going to sell a retail store, it will have the Time Enforcers brand logos on it. So that's going to be overlaying on top of the artwork. And so I just really want to take that opportunity to try and make these as exclusive as possible. We actually have a hardcover edition. That's what Raphael's showing here. In addition to the comic book, we're going to also be featuring an artist gallery showcase. And I have commissioned different pieces of art over the past couple of years, some of them being a couple here that were just recently done. And I'm going to feature not only the artwork, but I'll also be featuring the artist's name and their bio along with their social media links. So, I'm just seeing so many different interpretations of the characters that I created. And that's pretty much how I left it with these artists. I said, I really want your input and your style. And a lot of people ask me, well, how do you want me to pose it? I said, no, it's up to you. This is like an open book in terms of developing the art. And I really wanted to see that creativity come through. And a lot of people really did come through and put together some really dynamic pieces that I'm really happy to feature in that hardcover. So the hardcover I know is a bit pricey, but, it's going to be worth it because I actually researched the vendor. It's actually going to be a leather type binding, so it's going to have like a leather cover to it along with a case binding, so it's actually going to look like a real history book, which is really cool. Have the foil stamping on the front as well. So I'm actually making this dynamic in terms of the weight and also the messages conveyed by it, because it's really meant to be like, this is a really cool book and it's really worth what it is. And so that's how I'm putting that together in terms of that component. And then, of course, our stretch goals. I mean, we unlocked the first stretch goal, which is really cool. We got some digital stickers we're passing along. So in addition to the digital stickers, people who are backers, and this is for every backer in the campaign, no matter how many stretch goals we reach, every backer gets a stretch goal. So if you do $5, you get a stretch goal. You do $10, you get a stretch goal. Doesn't matter. But the digital stickers are being offered. They're unlocked. And then we have membership into the Time Enforcers Secret Circle. So I'll be providing links to the Discord channel, and I'll be giving more freebies away over the course of the next year. Because after this project, we're going to be rolling out our tabletop role-playing game, which I'm very excited about. Again, this is another component for the education aspect of the history all around this education framework, and it's really meant to get kids engaged in learning in a different way. So you play a tabletop role-playing game. It's almost like a Trivial Pursuit, but it's got a combination of Dungeons and Dragons into it as well. So the kids have to use creativity, make up characters so they can play the game. It's all about getting them outside their comfort zone so they can have some fun and hopefully get creative and engaging with this platform. So we got the video game, we got the comic book, and then we've got the tabletop role-playing game. Once that's done, we're going to start getting this out to schools for pilot. So I really want to have this tested with actual classroom settings and see how the kids do with it. And so they'll go through, they'll get a subject they need to research. They'll get to choose the subject matter they want to research. So if you're going to be studying feudal Japan, they get to choose the person, the place, or the thing in feudal Japan that they want to study. So it could be a tea ceremony. It could be more information about shogunate. It could be about, the Bushido in terms of what the samurais use in terms of the religion, the tenets they had with that. So it's really open-ended in terms of what the students can research. It's really about getting them engaged and finding what they're interested in and what they're interested in learning about. Ultimately, once they get the research done, they come together as a group, they pull the research together, and they do a presentation. It's all about collaboration. It's all about, making sure our work is all accounted for and that we're contributing, to the project as a whole. And the book is really, I look at this, people think it's a kid's book. It's not really a kid's book. I look at a lot of things that influenced me over the past several decades that I've had in terms of comic books, in terms of movie genre. What impacted me a lot was Pixar in terms of, presenting movies that were kid friendly, but actually were interweaving adult themes as well. And so I'm actually trying to do that with this book here. It's beyond just being a kid's book. I mean, adults, I think, can appreciate this well. I have humor going on between the characters. I have dynamicisms between the characters in terms of how the story develops. And it's all about, again, getting people involved and wanting to learn more about history. So with the book, both the comic book and the hardcover edition, I have this section called the Chronoton. Now, the Chronoton was introduced in the video game, which I did for episode 1. It's actually a device. It's similar to a Pip-Boy from Fallout that provides you with all the information you need to find the answers that are posed by the game in terms of questions. And so the same thing with the comic book. You'll see in the comic book itself, there's going to be several puzzles. There's going to be a word jumble. There's going to be a crossword. I'll probably try to throw in like a word find as well. But it's all based on trying to answer questions that are historically based information. So if you don't know the answer, you don't have to go to the internet. Just go to the Chronoton, and the Chronoton will provide you the information as long as you read through the content to find it. And that's really the whole point, is to try and get people to read, kids to read, and try and find the information so they can answer the questions and have a sense of achievement. And that's all part of this program as well. It's about getting kids noticed in terms of their efforts. So we have this whole badge program set up, whereas if they complete a journal over the course of 2 weeks and are consistent about that, or they do their presentation, they get a badge. And so they're recognized for their efforts. And it's all about, this engagement. It's all about, acknowledging effort. It's all about getting kids to realize that, yes, I'm making a contribution. Ultimately, the whole idea is, with history, people are normal, they go through life, but there are people that stand out for whatever reason in our past. They did something unique and inspiring, and it's really trying to get kids to understand that they can do that too. These are just regular people. They followed the passion, they discovered an idea, and they followed through on it. And there's no reason why our kids today can't do the same thing and be enthusiastic about it and want to move forward and try and do something like that. So that's kind of the whole project in a nutshell. Again, I'm very excited about it. The video game is on the app stores. It's been for sale since like 2025, like a year ago. It's actually doing pretty well. It's on Steam. It's on Apple. It's on Samsung Galaxy Store. It's on itch.io. It's for the Mac, PC, iOS, and Android platforms. And I was very concerned about making sure it was all developed properly. So if you upload the information to your computer, it'll be recognized as a legitimate software source. You don't have to worry about any kind of pirating or any kind of malicious software coming through. So you're all clear with that in terms of loading the program. And then we got a bunch of swag that we're developing as well. It's funny, as I developed the swag, I actually did the swag first before I did the comic book of the game. So like I had this baseball cap developed like 2 years ago, but then I realized I probably should have a character wearing the baseball cap. So Maisie wears the baseball cap. So that's why it's called Maisie's cap. And then we came with this idea for a dog bandana like a year and a half ago, but then I realized I probably should put the bandana on a dog. So it's going on Togo. So it's Togo's blue bandana. So it's kind of backwards. More people normally develop the characters and the accessories go along with it. I developed the accessories first and then developed the characters around it. So anyway.
Yeah. He's been busy.
I love it. I mean, I got so much stuff. If I go to do a table at New York Comic Con, I get more than enough material, I think, to do it. I mean, I have enough books, but I get more than enough merch. So
I feel like after this Kickstarter, you'll have more than enough books.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I'll probably be throwing packs of cards in for everybody, to be honest with you. I mean, I originally set the 2 cards that I set up for this campaign for anyone pledging over $30, but anyone that makes a pledge, I'll just throw the cards in because I just want to have fun with it. And the thing about the cards is these are similar to what we're going to be doing in the campaign. These are 2 cards that I did for VIP before the campaign launched. These cards will actually tie into the tabletop role-playing game. So if you have these cards, you actually get extra powers. So they're actually power-up cards when you set it. So if you get the cards, play the game, you actually have an advantage over other players playing the game. So it's kind of the way I'm tying everything together and trying to use the information and parlay it into other facets of what the project's going for.
So how many hours are left to back? 13?
The campaign closes at 12 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time. Will yeah, so like 12 hours, almost hours. Just about 12 hours left.
13 hours.
13 hours.
13, yeah.
Yep. You like the number 13 here.
Yeah, believe me, I've had more headaches with this, and it wasn't the Kickstarter. It's just my provider that was doing the back end for emails as well as my online store just totally bailed out of me. So I had to find a new email provider and a new storefront. So I set up a whole storefront, set up a new email provider in the midst of the Kickstarter campaign. Never want to do that again. So hopefully the next Kickstarter campaign I do will all be all set up and to worry about the garbage anymore. So it'll be good.
All right, I love showing this off. So I'm going to go to the videotape, folks.
Go for it, man.
Welcome, Cowboy Adventurer, to the next thrilling installment of the Time Enforcers Saga, Episode 2, Flying into the Crime Squad, where learning history can be fun.
Welcome to Axiom Intergalactic News, your single source of truth for the events that shape our reality. Timeline in chaos! The GSTC moves into action! This is your announcer, Ed Henry, bringing you the latest intergalactic updates from the Axiom News Network. The Galactic Space-Time Consortium, watchful guardians of the timeline, are under attack! A new evil from a trans-dimensional realm has emerged with a diabolical mission to transform reality as we know it. As events unfold, one question remains and looms large. Has the public placed its faith in an organization unprepared to handle the challenges ahead?
Fascinating read. A bit difficult to comprehend. I'll have to consult with CG about this one. Well, hello there, and good day to you. I'm Paul Hebert, speaking to you from the historic Thomas Nast Library, right here in Morristown, New Jersey. Now, if you've been following the reports from the Axiom News Network, you could be forgiven for believing our situation is, well, needless to say, rather dire. However, the truth is considerably more fascinating. For centuries, history has quietly shaped the world around us. Yet, do you realize that hidden behind pivotal moments in our past stands an organization dedicated to protecting the very timeline itself, the Galactic Space-Time Consortium. Its mission appears simple, but it is somewhat difficult in practice. Preserve history as we know it. Today, this challenge has never been more important, and that is precisely what the Time Enforcers is all about. One might even say learning history can be far more exciting when action and adventure is a big part of it. But enough from me. I would like to introduce you to one of the founders of the GSTC, the venerable Professor C.T. Haugens. C.T., are you there?
Blast it, Paul. Couldn't you have picked a better time to drop in? It's total chaos here. The outer defenses of the GSTC headquarters have been breached. Time portals are destabilizing. The archives are under siege. The very timeline itself is at risk of collapse. We need to call in every recruit we can to the GSTC to help out. I can't speak now. I have to go.
Well, as you can see, the situation has become considerably a bit more complicated, and quite frankly, we can use your help. Joining our Kickstarter campaign is your opportunity to take part in this mission. Whether you're discovering Time Enforcers for the very first time, or you followed our adventures from the very beginning, you will find a reward tier worthy of every agent. Choose from multiple editions of the graphic novel, including 5 stunning variant covers illustrated by an incredible lineup of legendary artists, an exclusive hardcover edition, and additional rewards that will unlock as new stretch goals are achieved throughout the campaign. Every pledge strengthens the mission. Every backer helps bring this adventure one step closer to reality. Friends, make a pledge. Support the mission and help us defeat Chronolith and his evil minions of doom once and for all. The GSTC is counting on you. Thank you for your support.
Oh my God!
I just love doing the bumper face. I got 2 shout outs. I got one for Ryan, who did the voiceover of Ed Henry. He did a great job. It was amazing what he did for that. So I was really appreciative for his efforts. And then the other one is to Anil from Slow Comics. He did such a great promo today on his channel, and I just want to thank him greatly for that, because it was amazing what he actually did to promote this Kickstarter for myself. So it was great.
So just to clarify, the Albert Einstein looking individual, was that you too?
That was me too, yeah.
Okay.
You didn't recognize me?
Wait a second.
It never fails, Ralph. I mean, dude, I go to these shows, right, dressed as Haugens, right? I'm in the jacket, I'm in the wig, I get the glasses on. And I'll talk to people for like a half hour, right? And then it gets so hot, I got to disrobe, take the jacket off, take the wig off, everything, or go around and talk to these other people, the same people. And it's just, man, it was really nice meeting you. It's like, dude, I just talked to you 20 minutes ago. What's your problem? I
was about to ask, did you have the wig lying around, or did you buy it for the video?
No, I had the wig like for a year and a half now. I've been going to Haugens like every show, and Yeah, it's really a lot of fun. It just gets so hot. I really wish I figured out a different character. It's like I told Ralph, we got to make up like a Magnum PI so I can go in like my, my Hawaiian shirt, my shorts would be great.
But it's funny because we were at Anitomo, and he had this whole relaxed outfit looking. He looked like one of the professors from Pokemon.
It was so hot. That's why I was wearing shorts.
So I'm like, you can still go, all relaxed. Come on.
It's like, yeah, as long as you got the wig and the glasses, people really don't recognize who you are.
This is one of the moments where I go, Clark Kent Superman is a thing.
Yeah, it works. It does. I mean,
that was just glasses, but the hair, though, the way it covered around, I was like, it was that and the voice. Only thing that really gave it away was the voice. I was like, the voice is very similar to the previous individual.
I really wanted to do a German accent. I can never do accents well, so I just didn't even try. So I think it'd be great to do a German accent, but I can't do it. So it's like
that sounded more Russian. So I get
it's probably more Russian. See, there you go. It's not German. It's not Russian. It's like I suck at accents. I can tell you, I'm there for it. So
accents are a lot of work, folks. Accents are a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun dressing up like that. And my wife, actually, when we do a show together, she'll dress up as Amelia Earhart, and the kids love it. I mean, they come up, they know instantly who she is because she's got red hair and she's in the bomber, and then she's got the pilot goggles on. So it's such a great outfit. And then it's so funny when you do shows like this, and then it took me a while to convince myself, but actually getting in a cosplay and doing a show, you actually get more attention to the booth. And it's really hard if you're not like, the big two, Marvel or DC, to get people's attention. But once you get their attention, you tell them what you're doing. It's like, yeah, we have a comic or we have a video game that makes learning history fun. Like the light bulbs start going off. And then every time I hear it, it's just like, yeah, my history experience was where in the world is Carmen Sandiego or Oregon Trail? And that's the whole thing. It's about making things engaging, making the subject matter engaging, because then kids want to learn, or people want to learn. I mean, I've been watching a lot of documentaries on TV, and the good ones are fascinating to watch. You just sit down and watch them and get this information in such a great way. And I think that's really the key is to get people engaged and having fun while they're doing it. So, and as I said in the video, it's like history's more fun when action and adventure is involved. So it's kind of what the point of the comic is. So,
yeah, I keep saying the professor needs some help, because he needs a team so he can do exactly what he wants to do, because there's so many plans that are.
Well, I can't express. It's just my greatest appreciation for the way this Kickstarter went. To be chewing my nails, thinking if it was going to be funded, realizing it was funded, and then just seeing the first stretch goal go. It just made me so excited. So I'm just truly appreciative of all the backers and people who follow. It's really about spreading the word and getting people interested in this. Ultimately, my goal is to get this into schools, both homeschool, charter schools, school districts, wherever, and get kids involved in learning. And I think the more we can do that, the more we can have discussions about differences, and not be realizing that we don't necessarily have to chew each other's head off about it. It's okay to have a difference of opinion and discuss things. And I think that's what it really comes down to in terms of, living in a civil society. So, that's a higher aspiration for me, but regardless, I just, it's a great subject to talk about, to speak about, to, get people involved with. And the more I do with this, the more I want to expand it. There's so many avenues this can go in terms of, developing, beyond, just a tabletop role-playing game or a comic book or a video game. And I would like to get to those levels, but again, it's just, getting the funding to do it. So just got to keep plugging along.
Keep plugging along.
Yep.
All right, Dan Pham, you're the new person here, so why don't we start with you? And I've been looking forward to talking to you about this. So give the people the spiel.
Yeah, so what I am cooking up with some indie creators is a bit of a comic contest. It's an anthology of a bunch of different one-shots that a bunch of other people have made, and essentially I'm selling the anthology, but the interesting part about it is that the readers can vote on one of the comics to win the grand prize, which would be $500. And then on top of that, whatever extra profit we raise from the campaign, that gets split amongst all the creators who were featured in the contest. So overall, everyone makes it good. And that's kind of the point of that. I always wanted to do kind of a comic contest with a bunch of indie creators. I feel like there aren't as many good ones out there for people to choose from. And so I wanted to sort of experiment by trying my own thing and seeing how that works. And hopefully if people like the idea and support it, maybe it could be a thing. Maybe we could do more contests like it. But yeah, everyone seemed really excited to be on board and put up their comics to be judged. Obviously very talented people. And I'm proud to show and print their work.
I gotta say, I find this really interesting, because you're giving a lot of power into the hands of, the ones who are going to help you fund this, the audience, because they're not just participating in the Kickstarter; they're participating in the making of the book.
Yeah, for sure. And, I feel like it makes the most sense that the people who put their money towards getting the anthology should have a say in which comic they think is the best. So it makes the most sense for those people to be the ones that are voting, as opposed to, I guess, some online contests where they have all the voting be completely open to the public. But a lot of the people who are going to vote have not actually read all the content that they're voting on. They're usually just voting for somebody who they recognize or what they're most familiar with or the person that they like the most. It's a popularity contest, essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, you're getting the book first and foremost. You're looking at the content and you have access to all of the content that you would be voting on. So I feel like it's a little bit more controlled, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. So where do they go to vote?
What was that?
Where do they go to vote?
So the voting poll is only accessible through the anthology itself. There's a QR code that you scan to vote for the comic.
So it really makes it whoever's pledging and whoever's doing the thing, it really kind of brings it home because like you were saying, it's not the whole, not everybody. It's the people that are actually putting their time and money into this.
Yeah, it just makes more sense that way, I feel like, because why appeal to people that would never buy your comic to begin with? But additionally, I mean, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Don't worry about it. I do it all the time.
So Dan Fan, now you've really made it a quandary for me, because when I get this, that means I have to move that book to the top of the stack of my stuff so I actually read it, because I got so much stuff now. It's like I have problems getting through it.
Oh my God.
I have to make it a first priority.
Yeah, I have a stack this thick of comics I bought over the last year that are not ready.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
They just, yep.
Just curious, when is the contest date? Is that included in the anthology itself?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The voting. You know how people have a certain time block, I'm assuming, to vote? Does it indicate within the book how long they have for the voting close?
Yeah, so I imagine once the campaign is finished and all that, they'll have a few months to vote. Originally, I was planning on launching this campaign earlier. It didn't end up going that way, but originally I was like, oh, I should try to finish up the voting before December so people have money in time for Christmas. And now I'm thinking maybe that's too short of a voting block because, you know, as you guys said, it takes a while to actually get through the content.
Yeah.
Some people will spend forever before finally opening up the book and reading through everything. So I don't know.
Also, just to let you know, I also don't. We do a lot of Kickstarters here, and we've seen December be a bad month for Kickstarters.
Oh well, we weren't going to launch in December.
Okay, there we
it's
go.
just like for as long as the voting goes on for.
All right.
You know, the conclusion, the winner announcement, I guess I should say.
All right.
You may want to consider incentivizing the voting, Anthony. Meaning, like, if you vote by a certain date, you get like a free sticker or something like that. You know, so you could be digital. It doesn't have to be like physical, so you don't have to worry about the costs. You know, so
yeah, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, you know, sometimes people need a little push.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I noticed that you seem to have quite a variety of. I mean, just from the quick glance you gave, it looks like quite a variety of genres.
Oh yeah.
In the comics.
Yeah, all kinds of different stories, ranging from like action to kind of slice of life type stuff.
Yeah, you can see it here.
Do you have a sense?
Yeah, I often enjoy.
One of you go. Go
ahead, Will. You go. Or was it Jeff?
I was gonna say because I like enjoy the other genres of comics. Because I enjoy the slice of life. I enjoy the fantasy comics. I really enjoy the variety out there. So I'm gonna take a look at this.
I gotta say, I like the little star.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, because my website is burningstarcomics.net, so we have the little mascot be the star. So I figured, you know, it was Battle of the Stars. It kind of works out that way.
That's the sticker they should get.
Yeah, it would be cute.
Oh, that is too cute. Oh my god. Yeah, this is the art in here is amazing.
Oh yeah, when you work in comics, you get to know a lot of really cool artists.
Yeah, that's a given. Oh my god. You know, it always amazes me the art that you find in all these places. You know, and there's times where you're like, oh, okay, but yeah, I don't, and it's so very rare that I don't get wowed by the art.
Yeah, I'm hoping to show more as we like move along. Right now we're mostly just like, you know, collecting followers, getting some interest in the campaign and in the contest itself. But there's by the time I'll have the actual campaign ready for launch, I'll have some previews of some of the comics to, you know, really get people interested in pulling the trigger and actually buying it.
Well, that's right. You got to entice. You got to seduce.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, but I like what you're doing here. When are you kicking this off?
Hopefully by the end of September. I'm kind of like in my own head about it, where I'm like, oh man, do I have to pick a specific day of the week to make sure that it launches successfully? Because I know there are some people who are like, oh, you have to launch Kickstarters on a specific day, otherwise it'll fail or something like that.
No, it's launch at the end of the week. You just got to follow up with people and just keep bugging them.
Yeah. It really is more about, I actually agree with that. It's really more about when you're ready than anything about those. Yeah.
I do find that if you want people to like, I think the only thing is, because I've seen some Kickstarters start off at the end of the day, you know, late at night, but I find that if you start it in the morning or in the afternoon, it gives people the whole day to work with it. Yeah.
You suddenly make me want to check what time my Kickstarter is launching.
Yeah, so I know Paul ended up starting his at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be 10 a.m. and then I realized so many problems just happened, so I pushed it back 2 hours, and then it was fine. And people, I think as long as you get it during the day, it's probably better, only because that way, it's there and it's percolating, then people come home from work and they see it, and hopefully you get some pledges going involved already by the time, the evening hits. So it's pretty good. I mean, if you do it like Ralph said, late at night, not really sure how many people are going to see it unless they're on the West Coast, and then you've lost like a whole 6 hours, 12 hours right from the start. So
agreed. So folks, you're gonna want to check this out. We're gonna have her back on the show soonish as she starts getting things together, so she can come and flesh things out and let us know what's going on. I am going to put the link in the comment section. Did I put it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's there. The link's in the comment section. See, I lose myself sometimes. Oh my God. This looks great. When I saw it on your site, I was like, this looks interesting. This looks really interesting. I like the concepts that you're putting together. And especially the fact that, the audience gets to vote.
Yeah, it's a little experimental compared to like other comic contests that I've seen, but I'm excited to give it a shot.
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to see how it goes. Definitely. All right, Mr. Snowstorm, tell them the stuff.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Stowe. You've probably seen me here on a few times already. I'm the owner of Snowstorm Comics. And I'm here because we're launching a brand new comic book series called Ash and Amber. For those who don't know, this is a brand new series dedicated in a modern supernatural fantasy area. Unlike most content where you see vampires and supernatural, they're normally like hidden in the shadows, or they're underneath the scenes as the monsters that bump up in the night. We wanted to do something a bit different. We wanted to have the supernatural that are integrated into society. So they're not hiding in the alleyway. They're your barista, they're your mechanic, they're your, the person you see walking down the street. There's a whole bunch of lore that's taking place behind the scenes that helped made the role enter the way they made today. And we're following a character named Matthew Oyama, who attempts to become the first governor who is also a vampire. And along the way, as he starts his progress, the two main protagonists, Ava and Cameron, discover some dark secrets that not only threatens the lofty goals that Matthew has, but it also threatens the actual relationship between the supernatural and humans as a whole. So there's a lot of political intrigue. There's a lot of there's a thriller. You can actually label it as that. There's hard-hitting action for certain, and of course, we have to have romance at the same time. So I've already been working on the content as we speak. We have some great artists who's doing some variant cover artists as well. We have Tehani Farr, if you're familiar with our Rise of the Nephilim series, who did the variant cover for issue 2. You also seen her on Stranger Comics and Magic the Gathering. She's going to be doing a variant cover. Megan Laura, who has done artwork for God of War Lotfi as well as a whole bunch of multimedia properties, is doing a variant cover. And then we have Andrea Daly, who's done covers for us as well. And yours truly, I'm doing the interior artwork as well as the writing. It's a lot of fun. We have so much aspects behind the scenes that we know that people are going to be excited about. And more so, I'm just going to throw these folks under the bus. Since Blade decided they can't get Blade right for some strange reason, and Kevin Feige literally called himself a failure for not giving Blade right. I was just like, hey, don't worry. I'll put the S on my chest. I'll take care of it. So we're definitely we are so excited about this. We should have the Kickstarter actually launches on August 17th. So it's literally next week. And we got multiple. We're gonna have multiple different tiers. If you're a digital variety, we're gonna have digital tiers. If you're a person who like to have the physical copies at home, we definitely gonna have that available for you as well. And we also have what we call day one discounts for those who are who join us for the first 3 days. Every single tier is going to have a discount outside of the books that are signed and the combo deals, because the combo deals, they already have a discount associated with it. But outside of that, every other tiers, if you join within the first 3 days, you'll get a discount for signing in. And we got stretch goals in place and such. We got so much prepared for it. And again, we're super excited to be able to bring this down your way.
So did you get ready the role-playing game?
So you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that. When I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I actually reached out to a few dice makers because we definitely wanted to actually transition this to a possible TTRPG in the future. Because we noticed when it came to like supernatural TTRPGs, you got Vampire the Masquerade, which is a personal horror. You have Monster Hearts, which is I think like teenage based, I think is where it's in high school.
Yes.
And I think that's it. Like in terms of the which is odd to me. Go ahead.
If you want to talk about RPGs, I could take up the entire show. But yes, reach out to me. But yes, there are a couple more out there. But you're right; it's not one where there's a huge number of successful ones. Right?
Exactly. So
Monster Heart and Monster of the Week, and then
Monster of the Week, yes,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
So Jeff, a couple things, Jeff. I want to gladly role play your characters, man, because they dress normally. One, okay, and then two, I have a question. So you got this guy running for governor, right? Don't people start to question, like, why does his staff only work at night and not?
They know. Day? That's what I mean. Like they're out in the open. They're not.
Oh, they're out in the open. So it's not regular vampires then, right? So it's like they can mill about and not really draw attention to themselves.
Yes, these are individual. Okay, so I can give. This is a special Ralph exclusive because I have not mentioned this anywhere else. There has been some behind the scenes drama that took place that was required in order for them to finally be able to be accepted in society. But like you have to show yourself as a vampire or an arcanist, which is our version of a witch and such like that. So it's not like even when I say by their integrated society, I'm not saying like they're a mechanic, but nobody knows that they're a vampire. Like they know, like you're governmentally like you're in the census per se as being an individual. And the other thing is we wanted to take a lot of aspects from supernatural lore that is not normally seen within your standard of supernatural content and apply in our world. For example, you see most vampire content, you put the sunlight on a vampire, they die. Oh my God, they shrivel up and they vanish without a trace. What has not been, some people are probably aware, but in the classic times, when sunlight was actually placed on Dracula, he didn't die. He lost his powers per se, but he didn't actually vanish. And so we were like, interesting. This would allow us to be able to have vampires in the sun, where they're just diluted per se, so they're not as feared as all.
They're just weaker.
They're just weaker, exactly. And so that's a completely different twist. Okay.
It's a lot of fun to go back to old tropes and even old folklore. Look at what they creatures like that. We realize how much of the stuff we think about now is new, is young, is like new ideas brought by popular books and popular movies. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the reason why I feel like we have a nice, unique aspect in this story is we're taking in lore that is a lot older per se, or lore that is a lot more niche. And then we're applying it into our own, as well as also making our own adjustments. There's certain things that is completely our own version. And so therefore you don't know that this is going to take place. So
what you're saying is your vampires don't sparkle in the sun.
You know what's funny? Okay, so I just a small tangent, just a quick one because I know I have ADHD. When I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I was when I was selling our comic books, right? There was this one individual, I won't dox him, but I normally say like towards the end after they buy our book, if you follow our mailing list, not only we get our comics for free, which he like lighted up. He said, but you can also get a notification for our vampire comic. He was like, I hate vampires. They sparkle. I was like, what did Twilight do to you? That's what I was thinking. I just took back a little bit. I was like, okay, no worries. Hey, enjoy your day, fam. Enjoy your day. Have a great time. But I was like, man, Twilight has scarred some people. Yeah. Scarred them. So it was just funny when you say that. I was like, oh yes, I've seen that personally. A couple of weeks ago.
Sparkling vampires, yeah.
Yes, clearly. So like I said, it's a whole bunch of mysterious aspects going on. It's a very diverse cast, a wide variety of different characters. And like I said, I know that people are going to be really excited of the story that we're telling. So yeah,
the characters look pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
They look like they could be the cast of show.
Yeah. I can see them being a TV show.
That was the goal. We wanted to have somebody that feels not like CW-ish, but or like Interview with the Vampire, but somebody where you're like, okay, right. I can see this becoming a property that way because I feel like it's more relatable and people can connect to it. Like you'll probably see in some of the comments of the post. Oh no, it's not. Well, it would be on there. The post I made when they showed the characters, they were like vampire governor, and they see the guy in the costume in the suit. It's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. So it definitely has a strong correlation with real life, and it makes things easier that way. Whereas if I try to make them like very, very niche per se, they probably wouldn't have as much of a connection. So it's a thin line to play in that story. So we like I said, we have our Kickstarter. It will be launching August 17th. And we also have some stretch goals in place that are going to be revealed as we release them. We definitely exactly that I definitely won't be able to spoil.
I don't know. I don't know how big you are into Vampire the Masquerade, but have you ever seen Kindred the Embrace?
So the only Vampire the Masquerade I've played has been in V5, and I know about.
Okay. No. There was a TV show in the 90s on Vampire the Masquerade called Kindred the Embrace.
I actually do know about this.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. I unfortunately could not watch it at that time frame because that was during the Satanic Panic. And actually, funny enough, the Satanic Panic plays a major role in our story as well. So it's so juicy, that it just fits perfectly in this. But yeah, fortunately, a lot of the older classic content dedicated to horror, I was not able to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to give it a shot.
Check
another thing to check out. It's very geeky and very thing. Is something called Hunter the Parenting.
Hunter the what?
Hunter the Parenting.
The parenting.
The parenting, yeah, because there's Vampire the Masquerade, there's the Ascension werewolf thing.
I heard Hunter the Reckoning. I had never heard of Hunter the Parenting.
It's a it's kind of it's a parody, but it's one of those parodies that loves its source material.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's available on YouTube. I would go. It's honestly just really well done characters. And there's like a modern,
in a parody. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting.
It's great to see how far this has come because I remember us jumping into this because we were talking Vampire the Masquerade when you were on the show a couple times.
Yeah,
so it's great to see how far this has come.
Well, so the other thing is because a lot of my friends are that I've speak of TTRPGs are primarily in the Vampire the Masquerade space, and so they've been Actually, a lot of the ones that have been signal boosting and was like super interested in what I was making and wanted to showcase it. Like Cynthia Marie, you probably heard from her from LA by Night, Una He-Man, and all these other individuals that are like, done shows for like, White Wolf and such. They was just like, you're taking your role on it, or let's go ahead and get this out there because we,
that's some good people to have on your side.
Yes, they're great people in general, but yes, they know exact because that was the thing. I was like, I have a perfect audience to be able to pinpoint off of to make sure that what I'm making is right because they live it. They go to the LARPs on a yearly basis, and they go to like they're always requested to do shows by Paradox and all that kind of content, and so to have that in my corner and to be like, hey, how does this story sound, and then be like, oh, you got a pot of gold, go ahead and run with that. I was like, okay, cool.
I'll run with pot of gold.
I was like, cool, I got you covered.
I can run with that.
I can run with that.
Yep, I'm all good. Yeah.
Yep.
So that means
get my safe funding.
I'll be have a leprechaun.
Sorry, say that one more time.
I said that means now you got to have a leprechaun.
Yeah. So what? Just one other thing. I know we talked about TTRPGs before. Besides, of course, Will. Will is a specialist in TTRPGs. But I think I mentioned that of course I used to do a lot of shows. But what I didn't tell you was why. And the reason why I actually got into TTRPGs, it wasn't the interest of a TTRPG. It was a social experiment. The reason being is that when I was looking at manga and comics, and I was seeing all of these teenagers and young children being shown in these comic books that the parents didn't seem to care about. They were all doing their own thing, just saving the day. And it was just like, it was normal to them. I was like, is this how people would be in real life? If like their son or their younger brother or something like that was given, like if your son was Miles Morales, would you be like, hey, I'm fine, go ahead and give somebody, give Rhino an uppercut, I was like, is that how people truly feel? I was like, well, there's no way I can really poll people and be like, what is your opinion for this? So what I did, this how I got started, was I would do TTRPGs and I would play as a child character. And then I would see how the other people in the party would react based upon me as a child. And it was such a wide variety based upon the personality traits that the child was, how old the child was, how proficient the child was. Like if the child was meek, if the child was loud. It was such an interesting concept. My friend told me I could write a book about this because of everything that I've covered. But it was due to that really helped me write Rise of the Nephilim, because I was like, I now know how different people will view their brother or son, or even just somebody that is a child in their party associated with danger. It's a wide variety. It's not like a lot how manga portrays it though. I would just say that. That's definitely false.
Young adult novels are so wild the way they treat parent-kid relationships. Mm-hmm. They're just so
As a Gen Xer, it made more sense for my generation. Because as long as you were home by a certain time, it really didn't matter.
Really? Miles Morales could be kicking the scorpion in the teeth, but as long as he was back home by 5:30 drinking his milk, he was perfectly fine.
Oh, definitely, because they didn't really know what we were doing. They didn't know what we were doing when we were out there.
No, that's pretty fair, even for me. Yeah,
wow.
As long as they weren't expecting me home.
Yeah.
Wow.
As long as they weren't expecting me home right after school. Yep. If I showed up at dinner time, it was fine. If they were expecting me, then they'd be like, well, where is he?
Yeah.
What happened? But if they were new, like, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go do some friends. I'm going to be, somewhere. I'm going to be at the library even. Like, they wouldn't have been a problem.
And I think that's why like comic books like have those characters, because during my generation, it made more sense. Even the generation before us, it kind of made more sense because you were kind of left out in the wild to take care of you.
In the wild.
Well, also, it's better than killing the mother.
Yeah.
Right? It's a better choice than killing the mother to explain why the mother's not hovering all the time.
Yeah.
You know, there is the option otherwise. Like, yeah, explain why is the kid the one solving all these problems?
Yeah.
You know, like, why is the kid the one in charge? Yeah.
We had no play dates. We just went out.
Yeah.
Rode bikes for hours. That was it.
A lot of people always ask me when they see like Stranger Things and stuff like that. I'm like, is it true? I'm like, yeah, it's true. we would leave the house on our bikes and not show up till like the lights turned on.
Yeah.
And we were fine. And sometimes even after the lights turned on, because it all depended on what time of year it was. Was it the fall? Was it because you know they were expecting you home by at least 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I remember biking after dark when I was a kid in winter.
Yeah,
I remember just being out biking. Again, for me, it was always as long as they knew when you were leaving or that you were not going to be home.
Yeah.
And also at the time, there was no cell phone, so they know you know if you disappear, they can't reach you.
Yeah,
they have to trust you when they find you.
I mean, like you could just get
literally.
Just get yoinked and no one would know. It was like, wow, yeah. As you can see, definitely as you can kind of tell from the surprise, my interactions from the people in the TTRPGs were not like that.
I wouldn't expect it.
They were. See, that's the difference, Jeff. You actually played a character in RPG. We lived it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We didn't have to play no RPG. We were like going out and like doing stuff you wouldn't believe.
Dude, the Satanic Panic was an interesting time, especially as a teenager.
See, that I didn't get. Yeah. That I was not part of. I was after. Yeah, so that never affected me. Also, my mom wouldn't have cared. No way she would have. But anyway.
Yeah, my parents didn't care, but you know when you're in somebody else's house.
No, if I got home after dark, I was pretty much toast. But as long as I got home before dark, you know, I was okay. So it was good.
Interesting.
Ah, beautiful, just beautiful. So let's continue down this alley and tell the people what you're up to.
All right, so I'm here publishing. Well, I'm here doing my first crowdfunding for an RPG. Which is the game I'm working on for about almost 2 years now, Criminal Spirits. This is a role-playing game set in the 1920s, early Prohibition, just rise of the mobsters time period. But it's an urban fantasy where you are a group of basically found family starting a speakeasy in New York City. It did mean that you are a bunch of people, either supernatural creatures or supernatural practitioners, or normal people who need a minimum wage job, who are starting a bar at the time when it's illegal for supernatural creatures in New York City.
I like it. You had me at 1920s.
Yeah, it's a fantastic time.
So.
It's a fantastic time, especially for role playing, because you can explain all those things. Why are you getting in so much trouble? Because that was the time.
Yes, it was.
You know, it was a really, really messy time, which is great when you're playing a game, when you're running a game. There was so much happening. There's so much could be swept under the rug because it was so corrupt. It was unbelievably corrupt at the time. But I specifically chose the 1921 because that's also before the mob had even gotten its shit together. So the mob was still split into dozens of different mobs. And so there's space. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's space for a player character group, for protagonists to be there doing very interesting stuff. But you're not forced into a specific conflict. There's space to go make your own little thing and then deal with what happens after that. So it's a very rules-light role-playing game. The book is large, but that's because I'm putting a ton of background and setting into it. The actual rules boil down to 10 pages. and then I'm gonna have another like 30 pages of examples just to help people play. Okay. Yeah, this is me doing a demo at Hex & Co in New York City, which is a gaming cafe in the city. I'm running a program with different gaming stores too, where I'll be shipping the books to the gaming stores to distribute, and people will be signing up at the gaming stores. So it's not purely online and purely shipping, that there is a place to go.
Interesting.
To actually get these. And I'm doing a ton of demos. Demos are my biggest selling tool, even when I'm selling my other books.
Right.
I go and do demos in person as much as possible, because nothing convinces people more than having their hands on, to actually play or create a character or do that. So yeah, you can see I've got a very busy schedule this month, because I'm building up to the September 1st launch.
So you're going to be at Tropicon this weekend?
Yes. I'll be at Tropicon this weekend doing demos, selling my other books, because I have already put out 4 other books. They just weren't crowdfunded. So I've got 4 books already printed. I'm going to be also, though, mostly on there to do demos and promote this book, the Criminal Spirits book.
This looks really cool, Will. I can't wait to give it a shot. Looks like fun.
Yep. If you bring up the actual project, there's some more art there of the actual pre-launch page. There's some other art there to see. But yeah, I'm working with a great artist, Levi Nola. He's done, I think, everything you've seen so far. The only one he didn't do is the first picture here. But he's done 3 of my books already for the artwork. There's fantastic characters, does fantastic drawings. If you scroll down, you'll see the character sheet. But yeah, the idea is to let players play almost anything with a very simple rule set that's mostly about writing. The most important things on the character sheet are what you wrote, not numbers. Because what you can do is determined by what you've written about your character rather than any number you put down. The numbers only come up when you actually are take a risk. 90% of the game is supposed to be ruleless.
I gotta say, you sent me this, and it looked really interesting.
Yeah,
the character sheets are interesting in their own thing, because sometimes I feel like players get lost in the character sheet.
There are 2 character sheets. The second one's already being made but isn't finished yet. Mm-hmm. This is the fancy one. This is the one out there. It's like, oh, that looks awesome, looks pretty. It's completely playable, but there are people this is too crowded for. There are people.
This is a simple character sheet, but I've played some complicated games. So
yeah, no, the game is very simple. The game is very simple. There's very little you need to define your character. I said 90% of it is just the words you're writing as your concept and ambition and your aspects. Everything but the last third of this character sheet is not even the character sheet. It's actually for use in play. It's things to play to write things in play rather than actually defining your character. But there's a second character sheet being drawn now, which is much graphically simpler, because you do need to have that. There are some people prefer different types of character sheets. A lot of people,
that's a good
awesome. Mm-hmm. Others just I just want lines and blank spaces to write stuff. So,
I see what you mean about busy. I can see somebody who doesn't usually play look at this and go, I don't know, because they're looking for a much more simpler sheet. But this is such a simple sheet, though.
It's a very simple sheet. It's not I've put this out there to get feedback. It's not so much about how experienced people are. It is how some people think and process.
Well, I'm not talking about experience. It's more about because I've seen this a bunch of times. When it comes to character sheets, if it's too complicated, they get funny because they feel like it's too hard to figure out. If it's too this is really well done, and I like the art of it, and but I have a feeling that certain people would look at this and go, I don't understand.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. No, there is, like I said, that's why I'm making 2. There is a second character sheet under the. I have a very, very simple character sheet that I made myself in Affinity, which is it's graphically extremely simple. No artistry at all, because I'm not an artist.
I like this sheet.
There's going to be another one like this though, where it is art. It is drawn.
Right.
But it is very simple. The second one's gonna be based on shelves. It's gonna be graphically based off shelving. So it's just very straight lines, no distractions, no extra art or something.
But you know what's cool about that, Will, is like, you've got 2 different levels, right, of experience. So like you get people coming in and probably want, more straightforward character sheet, but as they get into this game and realize the richness of it, I could use the sheet and have a lot of fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's like you're achieving another level set of characters as they play the game more, which is kind of cool. Which I like.
My experience, it's less about experience and more about visual processing. Some people do very well with visual processing, with a lot of colors, there's a lot of extra flourishes on this character sheet. There's a lot of art. There's a lot of things are not straight. That will drive some people insane. No, that will drive. There is a large percentage of people that will drive insane. They just can't. It will bother them the entire game if their character sheet is not straight.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there are 2 character sheets. The second one's not going to be any less pretty, but it's going to be much.
Speaking of, what you're saying right now, and Vampire the Masquerade, that was such a simple sheet, and people would get lost in it.
Yeah. Well, there's just a lot on it. The Dungeons & Dragons character sheets have the same problem.
Oh, definitely.
Even more.
Yeah.
And that's not a matter of like the people designing the character sheets are doing it badly. There's just so many numbers.
Yeah.
In a Dungeons & Dragons character. It's one of the reasons I'm not a huge Dungeons & Dragons fan. It's just so many numbers in it. So I'm very heavy. I love a lot of the indie RPGs, the independent RPGs, the rules, especially the rules light ones. You mentioned some of them earlier, like Monster of the Week. The whole Powered by the Apocalypse, Monster of the Week and Monster Heart are Powered by the Apocalypse games. It's a rule set that you can adapt to different settings. That's one of my favorite rule sets. And I really like the simplicity. I like things where the rules never get in the way of role playing. They never get there are times in role playing where you get in the groove. You are in the moment. You're in the scene. You are talking. Things are happening. You're doing amazing things, and the rules should never make you come to you. The rules should never be a brick wall in that situation. That is my firm belief in games. And one of the ways you avoid that is not having too many numbers. You don't stop and spend a minute looking at your character sheet. Figure out what in the world you're supposed to roll.
It also depends on the player, because some players love that shit.
Oh yeah, they're
the crunchy folks, the people who love the Pathfinder.
The math people.
Yeah, the math people.
There is enjoyment in playing the game as a optimization problem.
Yeah.
Like an engineering problem, and there's enjoyment in playing it as a board game.
Yep.
D&D plays very well when you think of it like a board game, like the fights. It really does.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The little characters, the grids, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, D&D put out some very good board games that were just that. I actually prefer that. I actually enjoy those board games, I think, more than the role-playing game. They put some very good board games like 10, 15 years ago that were basically D&D as a board game. And they work very well. And there's a lot of other companies that do that. If you look at Pathfinder has a card game that's really good. There is and Call of Cthulhu put out a whole bunch of games that are basically the role-playing game turned into a card game. I'm actually talking to another designer on Long Island right now who's also doing something similar. But if you care for the talking and the making stuff up and having conversations and role-playing, you want to be very careful the rules never get in your way, that they're not a speed bump in the gaming. So it's very much what you want to look and play.
Definitely. And each, if you really want, you'll find the game for you. And also it all depends on what DM you have, because if you have a flexible DM, you'll be able to get into D&D if you want to get into D&D.
True. Yeah.
Role playing is a social thing. It's a social event.
Definitely.
The people who are there are the most important part. Like, no matter what. Doesn't matter if you have great rules but terrible people, it's a terrible game.
Yeah.
If you have great rules with people you don't want to be with, it's a terrible game. If you're bad rules with great people, it's a good game. I mean, whatever. It's a social thing. But the game can help. The game can guide you to certain
definitely.
Ways, and also make you, encourage you to go in certain directions.
Because what we've been seeing a lot recently, and I've been bringing them on the show because I find that that for a long time, especially D&D, didn't have that entry level position. But I find that now a lot of the people, the indies, are making their own games that help you learn the 5e rules much more simpler. They're beginner games.
Right. Yeah. 5th edition actually was the best edition for that. Like they did I honestly, my personal opinion, they did the best job. Minds of Phandelver was the best introductory adventure I've seen yet for Dungeons & Dragons. To work you in it.
That's what they wanted. 5e was supposed to be 5e was supposed to be this whole thing where anybody could jump in. Yeah.
Right. But it's still a lot of math remembering stuff if you've never played before. It's a lot of remembering,
Which is what I'm saying. Like I love the fact that all these people are coming up with their starter games. Teach the kids or teach newbies. Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing role-playing games for kids, for introductions. I did a presentation. I have a presentation I've done at conventions about unusual mechanics in role-playing games, unusual role-playing games. So it's good. But there's absolutely amazing role-playing games for kids. They're very simple, but are good enough for things. Golden Sky Stories, Ryutama. There's just those are the first two to come to mind, but there are more. They're much, and all the indie games are so much simpler. And you realize how much you don't like. Look, I'm an indie game. I'm an indie game enthusiast. So from my perspective, like, so many things you didn't actually need that we just make the game better. Other people will just wear them. Look, I've done like arena match campaigns and had fun with 5th edition. Actually, 3rd edition was like probably the longest I did it. Where you do crazy stuff because you're trying to make the best character, and you're just there to fight.
Oh, right? Definitely.
That can be a lot of fun. But there's for the other role playing game experience where you're there to talk and to adventure and to have a story. I really love indie role playing games.
Yeah. How do you feel there? Because I feel like there's 2 games that seems to thread the line a bit. Which I'm kind of interested in your perspective. The first is Blades in the Dark, because it uses a 3D6 system, but it could get a little bit more complicated at times, but nothing like D&D. And then of course, in a similar genre, you also have a Daggerheart, which kind of uses something similar, but with D12s instead of D6s.
Yeah.
So they kind of thread the line. So how do you feel about those?
I played both. I've only played Daggerheart a little bit. Honestly, I've only been able to play it at conventions. So I don't feel like I'm that experienced with it. I like it. I like it, but it is aiming for the Daggerheart very straightly and clearly is aiming for the Dungeons and Dragons actual play experience that people see people doing online on YouTube. It's very much trying to encourage that, and it works. You can see that in its initiative mechanic, where it's actually they're very much trying to actually reproduce improv acting, like flow. It's very clear it's what they were trying to, and it does work for that. I think they achieved their goal. I think it's a good game that achieved its goals.
Yeah, if you're more into the role play level of gaming, Daggerheart is a good place for you to go.
Yes, because it's not trying to be a super role playing heavy game. It's not trying to be a rules like game. It's trying to be a action combat game where people get to quip and do the dramatic things and have their dramatic moments. Very much is trying to reproduce what people go to watch actual plays on YouTube for. But those actual plays are done by professional actors and comedians. So it's trying to help people get into that improv flow that you don't see with Dungeons and Dragons.
A lot of the times when you're in a game now, those are the people that you run into, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that experience that they're seeing as they watch their favorite people do their thing.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
At this time, I think most of the main input, like the main, what do you call it? But, the main source, there's a word for it, the input channel, whatever, for Dungeons & Dragons players is YouTube.
Mhm.
Like, I think no question. YouTube is the main recruiter of Dungeons & Dragons players now. It has been for at least like 5 years. And so that's what people expect, which is very different from people who came in 10, 20, 30 years ago who were expecting something much more like a war game, because that's where they came from. They came from board games and war games.
Yeah, it was a whole different experience in the 80s and 90s.
Yep. But yeah, so Blades in the Dark, I think, is a brilliant game. It does occasionally, in my mind, get in its own way.
I've heard that.
Many of the mechanics are brilliant, but sometimes I do feel it gets in its own way. I've seen Blades in the Dark games stumble by good indie role-playing game players. When it works fantastic. I've had some really, really good sessions in Blades in the Dark. But it does occasionally, I feel like it gets its own way every once in a while. But that's me as a person who really pays attention. Like, I live for that stuff, and I'm like there. I always got in the back of my mind. I'm always running a second critic in the back of my mind as I play, even games I'm enjoying. Like I said, and I played it much more than I played Daggerheart, so I've had time to get it. Like, even my favorite games, I based my game on a game called Fate. My rules are based on a game called Fate, which I have run more than any other game. But it also means I have more, you get familiar with the thing. You start wishing was different, which is why I actually why I decided to write my own version of it. It was one of the parts of it. Because I'd run like 10 years of running Fate. I was like, I'm just going to write my own stuff at this point. Yeah. So I'm going to write my own version, which is everything I want from it. Which I try to keep everything I love, because there's a lot of stuff I love about Fate.
So you're launching in 19 days?
September 1st.
September 1st. All right.
Yep. I decide I have to pick a day. I'm going to pick the first of the month and run the campaign through September.
So I feel like I'm bringing you all back in September.
I hope so. Well, part of it is, like you're saying before, you don't want to start too late. It is a bad time at the end of the year to do a crowdfunding, because everybody's buying.
It's funny. It's not that I don't know. It's the whole idea that most people are looking for Christmas gifts, and you figure that a Kickstarter would be a good idea. But at the same time, most people are looking for the now type of Christmas gift.
Yes, exactly.
They
need something they can put under the tree. Yeah. And that's My Kickstarter will be.
When do retailers normally buy? Do you know? Will, do you have an understanding when retailers normally buy games? I mean, imagine in certain seasons, right? Like, Ralph, when was Toy World, or was it Toy Con? Was it
Toy Fair? Usually is in February, because they're already thinking about the year.
Right.
And that's why they do it in February, so there's enough time for them to order whatever they need to order for the fall.
The big business conventions for role-playing games and board games, because they're functionally the same business organizations and stores. The big business organizations are in the summer. They just ended, in fact. Origins was
Gen Con, right?
Did Gen Con just ended.
Yeah, Gen Con just ended.
So
people ordering. Did you say Gen Con? I'm sorry.
Gen Con. Yes.
Okay, that's in Indianapolis, right?
Yes.
Dragon Con is this weekend, I think. Dragon Con is
it's last weekend or weekend before.
Last weekend.
Oh no, it hasn't happened yet. Dragon Con hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, the only big commercial one that'll be happening later in the year is PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
But I don't. My understanding is, my impression. I'm not an expert. I've never run a store. Okay, let me be clear. I'm a small indie publisher. Okay, I'm not big in. I'm not I don't have any huge insights into the market. But the bit people sell their games to distributors and get them involved in the summer. It's Origins and Gen Con that are the two huge ones. Gen Con being Origins being more sell your products to professionals, and Gen Con being the big show off to all the players.
Yeah.
And also, of course, a lot of professional stuff. But I think that's really, neither of them are pure. You know, it's not like it's purely one or the other. But that's, that's really where you think of them as. Gen Con's the big extravaganza, the gigantic one. It's huge. It's insanely huge. It's like it's too big for its city. It's too big for Indianapolis. No, I'm not joking. It is. It is too big for the city it's in.
Oh, it is. Gen Con is huge.
It's utterly
the amount of people that I knew that were there this year. It doubled from last year.
So I had a friend who was in, I guess, the Artist Alley in that section. And she told me that even though people-wise it's normally smaller than San Diego Comic-Con, he normally makes 2 to almost 3 times the amount he does at Gen Con in comparison to San Diego Comic-Con.
That makes sense.
He was suggesting, since my first comic book series is a fantasy comic, that I should give Gen Con a try. I was like, but
that actually makes sense.
Gen Con is a place people go to buy.
Yeah.
No, it is a place. It's a marketplace, really.
Yeah.
That's actually I didn't go there this year for that reason. I was like, that's the thing. I really enjoy small conventions because I want to go to conventions to play. I go to play, right? That's why
I go there to buy.
I don't go there to buy. I go to play.
Gotcha.
Gen Con is a place to go to buy.
Dude, I gotta say, if you want to spend money, go to Gen Con.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also a spectacle. It's a place to go for spectacle.
Dude, because you have especially like what we were just talking about, you have all these big online guys who are doing their games.
Josephine was there.
They team up there and they do special games there. I know our friends from Sentinels of the Shield, they did a whole charity event there, and they made a good amount of money for the charity.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, I was
it's
definitely.
Also, I was about to say it's very expensive, but probably not compared to Comic-Con.
No, nothing compared to Comic-Con. The booth by itself at Comic-Con is 4,000.
That went up. I looked at it 2 years ago. It's only 2,500. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's 4,000.
So, I mean, they're getting so many people they don't care. They can charge to the roof for everything.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I said. Doing that at any other convention will mostly go be a breeze. Like even well, to be honest, I don't have to worry about hotel here. But go ahead.
Yeah, and actually, I was going to say the biggest problem with Gen Con is it has outgrown the city. That is not a joke. Yes, it is too big for the downtown of that city.
You saw it this year because you had events outside of the con.
Mm-hmm.
In other venues.
Well, no, the con is in 6 different buildings.
I know that, but there was also events outside. Yeah.
Outside, and it's outgrown that. Yeah. The con has 4. I think it's 4 hotels.
They have events in other buildings.
Yeah, but Gen Con has the conference center, 4 hotels, and takes over the stadium. Takes over the sports stadium. And fills them all. It's too. So that is also. It's very hard to get hotels there. One time I went there, I had to stay 40 minutes outside town.
Ooh, wow.
And take an Uber and away. So yeah,
that sounds about right.
Now that's because I was there last minute. To be fair, I was last minute, but it was it will fill up every hotel for half an hour around the city.
Yeah, my only reservation was I was telling her, I was seeing, the pictures of people flooding into Gen Con. And then I saw pictures of just floods of like a pipe that just burst. And then I saw saw water leaking in from the sky. And I was just like, what is happening here? So I was like, I would have been so upset.
Dude, they had tornado warnings.
Tornado warnings. That is insane.
During the con.
Insane.
Dude, if you watch our friends from
dude, that happened in Anichomo. What's the difference? I mean, come on.
We don't get that for you.
We got stranded because of Anichomo. We couldn't get into this city. It was
that was how it was. But if you watch our friends from Story Engine Deck, he's actually doing a video, and you hear the alarms going off. And he's just doing the video. I'm like, what the hell?
But Ralph, you
Since
should
we're
have
talking
had
about
the subway,
conventions.
man. It was like raining in the subway.
That's how movies start. That's how Final Destination begins.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, scary alarms. Like, hey,
It's
you're
so funny
supposed to
because
go.
he's like doing his little thing with the story engine deck, and he's like, as you can hear, there's a tornado warning. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, but we might get kicked out. I'm like,
wow.
Right, one more time.
Talking of conventions.
Find you, Will.
Okay. You can find me on gloriousfate.com. If you go there, I don't know if you want to put up, you can go there, you'll find all of my previous books. You'll find the link to the crowdfunding. You'll also find the character inspire I made for Criminal Spirits, which is a thing. I made this, I was starting to do this anyway for all the one-shots I was doing at conventions and demos.
Right.
I started to turn into a full website where you can just click and it'll suggest a character to you, a randomized character. This is my website you got here. This is the game app. This is a website I run for finding gaming events. The website about my writing and my books is gloriousfate.com.
I'm sorry. I don't think you gave me that link.
There, I just put in the.
I was going to say, oh, there you go. There you have it, folks.
Yep. So this is where you can get all my books here, either from DTRPG or from Patreon, or you can go to Inspire Your Criminal Spirits. If you follow the campaign before it launches, you'll also get for free when it funds. You'll get a copy of the first adventure for the game.
Cool. I like that.
And if you put in $1 reserve, which basically say, yeah, I'm going to show that I am serious, you'll actually get all 3 adventures in PDF format for free.
I've seen a lot of people starting to do that recently. I know Paul did it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you click on Inspire Your Criminal Spirit, up at the top right. Or like,
there it goes.
Mm-hmm. You'll see. This shows you the kind of characters that you can play in the game. Click on random, and it'll bring up a random character idea for you.
You're a homeless, disowned, a coaxless.
I saw homeless immediately. I was just like, oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay, started from the bottom.
And you've got a perfectly valid character concept now. You're an occultist who, for some reason, was disowned from his family and is now homeless on the streets of New York. And that's why you're here at the Speakeasy. Click again, you'll get another one. It's random. Every word there is randomized every time you click.
I hate to try and run that guy out of the bar.
There we go. Now we're a wandering ferry air pilot.
Yep.
That makes sense.
I like this one.
Your ferry became a
the
box
homeless,
stormer.
that's a hard one to pull off. That but this one I can work with.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I love this. This is a pretty good site. I put that.
And explains to you what you can actually do with it too, to help some role-playing advice on what you do with it. How you play it, what you get advantages, what you're good at, what you get rewarded for.
You can travel fast or cheap, be prepared, make friends with strangers. This is pretty good. Don't crash, act fearless.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God. That is pretty good. All right, Snow, where can they find you?
Sorry, wait, me? Oh, my. Oh, okay. I was like, oh, I thought we were still doing this. Oh, no worries. You can find me on the interwebs at Snowstorm Comics. Of course, you have our Instagram. We have we have a website that's being worked on. We have a Patreon. But really, the main place to be able to find us would be our Instagram, because that's where we upload our content, as well as our Patreon. But, yeah.
And your Kickstarter kicks off when?
August 17th. So next
August
Monday,
17th.
the day after my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it, folks. Go check them out. And of course, they're both going to be on the show as soon as these Kickstarters kick off. Mm-hmm. And Dan Fan, where can they find you?
Let's see. Instagram, X, YouTube, all under the same name, Dan Fan. You can also check out our website directly, burningstarcomics.net. It's where I post all my comics once like campaigns are done, as well as publish other people's comics, and sometimes also some neat little knickknacks and keychains, stickers, stuff to go with everything. So yeah,
I remember you got a lot of interesting stuff. Which is always great. That's what you want when you're artist. A nice little eclectic bunch of stuff where you can just get whatever you want.
Yeah. I learned that lesson a little too late earlier this year when I went to a couple of local conventions with nothing but my book. My first books.
It's tough with just the book, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I tell all our friends on the show, if you're gonna go do a convention, make sure you have either at least 2 books or you have swag and a book.
Yep.
Free stickers. Like I said, that I've been spreading that the word because it's pretty much the conversation opener. You say a free sticker, they was like, oh, they'll take one, and it was like, and then they feel bad because they're taking the sticker. And they was like, well, what's the comics about that I'm taking the sticker of? I was like, well, thank you for doing the work for me. Here is what it's about. So like it's such a great conversation opener, and it's pretty affordable.
Mm-hmm. Candy works great too,
Jeff.
Candy does too, yes.
Candy always works. I always feel like you're seducing people, though. We got candy.
Brings over a lot of kids for sure.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I can see that working.
Here, sweetie.
Come on, join us.
Oh, what a turn.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Paul, one more time, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, we got our Kickstarter going till 12 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be doing late pledges afterwards, but I'm trying to get as many pledges ahead of time. So I'm excited about that. We surpassed our initial stretch goal, which is awesome. And I can't be happier. I'm just appreciative of every backer that came out of this campaign. It's just going to get better and better as I keep making more and more content. So I'm excited about this. So our Kickstarter's there. Just look for Time Enforcers. You'll find us. Our store, if you missed out on the Kickstarter, we have swag for sale at timeenforcers.store. So you can go there, and I'm actually loading more content on a daily basis because I got so much stuff to load. And I got to redo photographs now because I want to show the actual merch as opposed to just plain artwork. So I'm excited for that. And then, find us on social media at Time Enforcers, one word. So you'll find us, and we're posted all the time. It's just having a blast. It's going great.
So, folks, every single one of these persons here will be back on the show because their Kickstarters are close to starting.
I can't wait. I'm going to be happy to support you guys. So good luck with everything.
And that's why we're going to bring them back, especially because we like geeking out with them. As you can tell by today's show where we geeked out like crazy.
Yep.
And, of course, on Monday, join us for Apple Bites at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And next Wednesday, at the same time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Written Writ. And we have some interesting stuff coming up. Next week is Anime NYC. So it's about to get crazy, folks.
Yep.
So we're going to have a couple of Anime NYC people.
And then after that, it's Super Jersey Expo, right?
Super Jersey Expo is the 29th of August.
Oh, and I just looked up. Dragon Con is September 3rd to September 7th.
Oh, so it's still a distant away. Mm-hmm. I had a feeling because I got a couple friends going, we're going to Dragon Con. I'm like,
same.
I think I've mentioned this with Paul before, but there's a really good, very small game design convention that happens in November in New Jersey. Literally, really right in northern.
You said Morristown, right, Will?
Yeah, in Morristown.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to look forward to that.
If you're all interested in game design, I really recommend going there.
Yep.
It's
where
almost
I live,
free.
So check it out. Yeah.
It's almost free if you're going to be a play tester, because you're only allowed to bring unfinished games. Finished games are not allowed inside.
Interesting.
You cannot bring a finished game.
Well, Paul has an unfinished game.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right.
Everything's pretty much unfinished for me right at this point.
Also, if you guys love games, at Anime NYC, Play NYC, has joined forces with Anime NYC, and they have their own section in Anime NYC where you can check out up and coming gamers making their games and showing off their games. It's called Play NYC. We also have a couple of friends there showcasing their stuff like Item Get, and he has new quests for you to check out when you go to Item Get and ask him for quests. Oh my God. Yeah, these couple of this weekend's like freaking FlameCon. And on Saturday there's also the other convention in Canal Street from the young lady that was on the show, Swiss Army, who was on the show on Monday. Yeah. So there's
like
just
fun.
conventions.
And I'll be at Tropicon this weekend. Yeah.
Exactly. It's Tropicon this weekend too. Dude, that's like 4 conventions this weekend. Yeah. So folks, don't say there's nothing for you to do in the weekend.
There's something to do.
Yep.
With that, we'll do what we always do on this show. I'll press the button.